10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us for empowering Bluebonnet Learning with accessible and smart tools. My name is Melissa Summerford, and I am one of your teaching and learning guides here at Cami to show you how easy Cami can work with your Bluebonnet curriculum. I'm a former educator myself, and I'm excited to share what you can do and use in your classroom. I'm going to pass it over to my team. Kim, take it away.
Hi there, I am Kim Schwartz and I'm located in Pearland, Texas. I am one of the account executives here in Texas and thank you so much for joining us today for the Cami Bluebonnet Learning Seminar. Make sure you stay to the end because at the very end, Melissa will spin the wheel 3 times and we'll have 2 fun Cami swag baskets to give away and a $100 Amazon gift card, but you must be present to win. And then we'll follow up with an email after that to get your school address that you're located to, because that is where we will send the fun prizes to. Thanks so much. And now I'll introduce you to my colleague, Katrina.
Thanks, Kim. I'm Katrina. I'm a customer manager working with Texas districts. And Chelsea, off to you.
And I'm Chelsea, also working with Texas districts. So if you are from a smaller district, feel free to reach out to me. My email is there. Back to you, Katrina.
All right, perfect. Okay, so oftentimes curriculum materials alone aren't enough to support diverse learning in the classroom. So in this photo, there's a variety of learning supports in place. Can you spot any? Yeah, we're seeing devices, we're seeing a color overlay. There's an adult providing a read aloud. So here's what we know. These students aren't alone, and research shows that 1 in 5 students face learning or attention difficulties. About 7 million students receive special education services. You can go ahead, Melissa. And English is not the native language for around 5 million students. So today, what we're going to show you is how to further enhance that curriculum, Bluebonnet specifically in this case, with Cami to add accessibility features and learning supports for all students. So Melissa, take it away.
All right, so let me show you how. So if you're in here and you're new and you're wondering what is Bluebonnet Learning? Well, Bluebonnet Learning is the new materials that the state is giving out to help provide teachers with tool and foster student success. It's developed by the state of Texas. It has daily lessons, student materials, and even a teacher guide. I love a teacher guide. I mean, I used to carry those big hard books with me back and forth just because they had great material and they helped guide the lesson. So when you are on the TEA website, you can scroll down here and you'll find the Bluebonnet resources that you can access. Once you click on what you're looking for, I'm gonna go with 3rd grade because that's what I used to teach. You're going to come to these modules here. You'll see the modules. When I go and view modules, you'll see that there are some program level module overviews, some implementation guides, resources for teachers, and if you're a coach, there's even some resources there for you too. I like the way that it lays it out. It makes it easy for you to deliver a lesson or to help deliver a lesson with your teachers. As I scroll down, you're going to see your units, your classic tells, scales, feathers, and fur. That's where the science comes in for me. Do you notice how you can mix these curriculums? As a teacher, my partner and I, we would always share activities to take for grades in the classroom. So I love the way it's connected into science. You got the human body, ancient Rome, and I'm about to dive into the Unit 6, which is astronomy. Because at the beginning of the year, we always taught the solar system. The students were so super excited. So this gives me some materials that I can use. If you notice, you're going to have the overview, the teacher guide, activity book, even essential questions to help remind you of what to ask your students during the questioning, the reader, a flip book, image cards, and even some support letters to send home. I'm going to go ahead and click on into that student reader there. Once I click into that student reader, I want you to notice what you see here. If you have the extension, my colleagues are going to drop that extension just in case you don't have it. You'll need to have the Cami extension so that way you can utilize these two quick shortcuts to open it into the Cami environment. Once you get the extension, it's going to be at your extension bar here. You'll just need to pin it so that way you can quickly get to the Cami button. Once you got it, you'll be able to utilize these two features, open with Cami or Cami split and merge. I'm going to go ahead and open it with Cami. You'll notice since I click that, it's going to bring that student reader straight into the Cami environment. And this is where I'm going to look at the lesson and see what I need to modify. I'm going to make a new copy because that just shows I've opened it multiple times. But here it is. Did you see how quick and easy that was? No. Let's look at this right here. No, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to experiment on pinching the page to make it zoom in. At the bottom here, there's 112 pages on this. I'm not going to give this to my students. They will die. They will fall out of the chair. Miss Summerford, I'm going to read 112 pages. No, you're not. Okay. What you can do is you can create this and organize it by using our Cami split and merge. You saw that split and merge button, but you can also get to split and merge while you're in the actual document. I'm going to go ahead and go to tools here, and then I'm going to select split and merge. I'm going to give that just a moment to process. Once it processes, it's going to open a split and merge shelving system where I can start moving pieces around. It's just like if you were at the copy machine and you're piecing materials together for your students. That's what it's going to do. I'll give it just a moment. Here it is. Continue to split and merge. Now, there are some pieces I need to add to this. I've got my resource there, but if I go look at my, close your eyes because I'm about to scroll up, my teacher guide here, it shows that this is lesson 1 here. This is what the overview looks like. I'm going to spend 45 minutes on the actual lesson. I'm going to need some other materials to really piece this together for my students. So I know I'm going to need the first chapter because that is what we're working on first. And then I'm going to scroll up here because my teacher guide is going to tell me exactly what I need. Here's my vocabulary for that first lesson. So I circled that to highlight that information. And if I go even further, this is my lesson 1. It's going to tell me my core connections, speaking and listening. I love the way it aligns with the standards. So that way I was using Eduphoria and I could just plug in all the standards I was going to use for my lesson right here. If you look at that right there, I love that. My 3-part objective is right there. I used to have to write these on the board and on my lesson plan. Students will read and answer comprehension questions about the sun, earth, and the solar system. It's already created. I just have to put that into my lesson. So I've got my TPO there, and let's see what I need to get this ready. Okay, here it is. It's going to tell me I need activity page 1.3. This is what is in the universe. I've got that student reader. It tells me what is the pacing for these. Let's go back because now I had previously already downloaded that activity book because I just took it and brought everything into my Google Drive so it's easy to find. And that's what I advise you to do too. So let's go in and I'm going to go into use. Here is my activities right there. Do you see how easy it is to add more pieces to the split and merge? Just so easy for you to do. Let's hit next. And there are my 2 pieces. Okay, I've got my activity guide here. I'm going to start just dragging. Now, just because I'm moving these pieces from the original PDF, it's not going to corrupt that. It's still going to stay intact. What it's basically done, it's just made a copy of that PDF, and then I just start pulling. Let's give that a moment to load. But while it's doing that, I'm going to look. Okay, good. I pulled enough pages because now if you'll notice, that's 2. I don't need a section 2. You can utilize these tools right here to trash it, to make a copy, or if you got old eyes like me, you can zoom in. So you'll be able to do that. Okay, so here's the book. Now it says I need activity 1.3. Let's see. There it is. It looks like it's a 2-pager right here. I'm going to drag those here, and there you go. Now you don't want to stop here because you want to start creating differentiated pieces because in Kami, you can differentiate by adding comments, video, audio, all of those types of things. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. In my classroom, I used to have 3 different teams. Team 1 were my RTI students, Team 2 were my bubble students, and Team 3 were my advanced students. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create it just like that. And if you have a special little baby in your classroom, you can go ahead and create that own special activity just for your special baby in your class. So I'm going to call this Team 1, and this is going to be Team 2. This is my favorite area to start working and creating those materials for my students. And Team 3. Now, I'm going to dive into my Team 1 because I'm going to put some special things just for these students. Now, these students are going to need a little bit of helping hand as they complete the lesson. So let's go ahead and export this, and I'm going to open it with Kami. All right, we'll give it just a minute, but it should be there just like that. As soon as that runs and open with Kami, and there it is. That's going to come in. Here it is. It's going to make sure and ask you upload it to Google Drive. Let's upload it. Very important because you're going to want to know where to find this when you assign in your learning management system. We work well with all. For some, Google Classroom, Schoology, Canvas, and then there's some new ones that come out. Okay. All right. It's in my Kami uploads folder. You don't want to keep it there. That's where everything goes. So when you sign up for Kami, it connects with your Google Drive. So you want to move it into a folder that you're going to be able to find it. Let me just go ahead and move it into a folder. I'm just going to move it into this Bluebonnet folder and watch what happens. It's going to say it's in my Bluebonnet curriculum folder. It's Team 1. Perfect. Let's gather and get some more pieces. If I go back to my teaching guide, let's see, what else do I need? As I scroll down, I think, let me see. See, I did a little prep. Okay, close your eyes because I'm about to scroll. It is on page 32 here. This is where it starts to tell me what my primary focus is. Students will read and answer comprehension questions about the solar system. Okay, what else do I need to know? Oh, vocabulary. Now, since this is for my tier 3 students, these are the vocabulary words I should focus on. I'm just going to do a few of those. So I'm going to go ahead and start by using the comment tool, and I'm going to make sure that I put a word bank for them. And to help me too, planet and then solar system. Let's get this. Okay. All right. I've got my word bank there. Those are the words that it's suggesting that I use with this group. That'll help me guide me as we are going through. Now, if students are like, what is a planet, Miss Summerford? I'm just not sure. Remind them that they can use the tools. Now, when you create an assignment, you can decide what tools your students will use as they go through the lesson. You can always take away tools and you can always give them. When you go into the share button in our feature controls, did you know that you can decide what tools your students see? I usually like to start on all off and then go through. Select tool, yes. Understand tool, because that's about what we're going to get into. The read aloud, of course. And then maybe a highlighter, maybe a free. I don't want them highlighting the whole thing. Comments, maybe a voice. I want them to share their thinking and thought. Anything else? No. Okay. And then I'm definitely going to turn off copy and paste. I don't want them going outside resource and copy and paste. And we're not going to add any pages for this group. Okay. Because they just might be adding pages the whole time. So I'm going to say, okay. I can always change that feature control, and that will be available in your LMS. If you want to learn more about how you could do that, you can always book a time with me. I'll make sure my link is on this presentation. Okay, let's get this ready for students. I've got the word bank. Oh, I was talking if they needed to understand different words and what they mean, they can use the understand tool here. Here's the dictionary. When students click on a word, why do I always do energy? Let's do earth, okay? When they click on a word, They can see what the pronouncing or hear what the
Verb.
pronunciation is, and they can also see the definition of that word. So that's going to be set in place right there for them to pull as they need. They don't have to wait for you to come around. They're going to have that ability to do that on their own. If student needs a translation of the document, you don't have to go out and find that one teacher on campus who could do it. You can turn the translate tool on for your students. They can highlight a certain or loop a section of the passage and choose the language that they want to translate that into. Now, our library is building. We're a global company and many more languages are coming on. So if you don't see the one you like, just give us a holler and we'll see what we could do. There is the translated version. Students can
Mira hacia el cielo al
have this
mediodía.
read aloud. They can paste it, do a comment, and have it on the side to refer back to. And if you're changing this up and you want to have it on a Google Doc or slide, you can copy this to the clipboard and paste it on a Google slide or a Google document. Those are just some of the things you can do. But that's not all. Let me show you because we have added an explain tool, a summarization tool. These are so awesome. Ever need that guide on the side? This is your extra teacher, your co-teacher right here. So when students loop a section, watch what this does. And I swear it sounds just like me. How would I talk to my kids? Let's see. It's going to examine it. Okay. Let's explore the text. This is all about. It starts by asking you. So it's going to explain and it's going to give it in that teacher term, mainly because it's going to say, maybe you could research these questions. So it's going to give students the ability to dive even deeper because it's going to ask them, or can you imagine what it would be like? So I love the way it dives in. And again, clip to the text or add to a clipboard as well. The next one is summarize. Now, summarize is ask a friend. So you can just turn the ask a friend button on and have your students utilize that tool or turn it off. It's up to you. So as you could tell, this one is really simpler at what it does. It's just summarizing. It's not really giving them like too much to dive deeper in, but it is there if you want. The read level is a teacher-facing tool. This is what you can do if you know your students, like this is my tier 1 students. Now, the reading level might be a little bit too high for them. And if I pass this along to a co-teacher or myself, if I'm getting it ready, I can change the level ahead of time before I assign and copy it to the side for my students if I want. But why do all the work? This is what I mean. Because this adjust tool, you can put the power back into the students by allowing them to loop what they need and them to determine, do I need to level up or level down? And it's going to tell you levels easier, levels harder. Okay, maybe for my GT students, I would turn this off because for some reason, my GT would be always like, let me turn this down to the least level. Sometimes I don't like to be challenged. So I'll probably turn that off for them. But for my RTI, I'm going to give them this tool that they need so they can level up or level down. So those are just some of the things that the students are going to get to experience and really empower them to take control of the learning because all of those tools are right there in Kami. They don't have to go to outside resources. They're right there in Kami. Now for this group too, they might need a hook video, something to get them started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select Add Media. Now I'm going to go to Add Media and Add YouTube. Now, if your YouTube's black, you could always record your own video, put it in your Google Drive, and share that link as a text. And the comment, it's not going to pop up as pretty as this, but it works. Let me go ahead and grab my YouTube video. This is it right here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that and paste this here. Now, here's the video. If this video is a little bit longer, or if I need them just to focus in a particular spot, I can adjust that video. It's just a guide. They could click on the video and play the whole thing, but this is guiding them. I won't tell them they can play the whole thing. Okay, so as soon as they play that, it will start. You can then make a comment, and I'll do a voice comment. Hey students, this is what you're going to need to do. Make sure you watch this video and then think about how many planets are there in the solar system. I can even say, reply to this comment that I just made. But you know what else I can do, which I probably should have done, because in this Bluebonnet materials, there's also some guiding questions, questions that you can ask throughout the lesson. So for lesson 1 right here, here are your guiding questions. And these will be essential questions that I would ask throughout the lesson, whether it be in small groups or in comments. I could ask this. I should have said, what are the features of 8 planets in our solar system? Or why are the outer planets colder than the first few? I need to make sure my students can answer this question by the time they get through with lesson 5. Those are what those essential questions are for. So you keep repeating. That's what I should do. Keep repeating the whole time until every student could answer those questions. Now, let's look at the rest of this lesson and see what else we can do to get this ready. As I go through, for those activity pages, there are questions already. I don't need to generate questions because they're giving me the questions to ask. So what we can do is we can make this easier on ourselves and we can have AI create a copy of it so that way when I put it in my learning management system, it's going to auto grade it for me. Meaning, let's go to AI questions and I'm going to convert these questions that are already on this document into auto gradable so that way when I put them in my LMS, they're gonna self-grade for me. So let's go ahead and get that. You'll notice that it also has a page number. I'm going to leave that because I used to always tell my students, go put the page where you found it. This is like your evidence, like put the page number. Where did you find the answer to this particular question? All right, here are the questions. When I click into that question, I can change the question type. So if I want to give them some different variety to practice for the STAR test, I can do that. I'm going to display this on the page. Now it's on the page, but I need to save some room, save some real estate here. So let's show answer only. Okay, we're getting better. Let's adjust this. Randomize. Yes, because the students are sitting next to each other, the answers are going to be in different order. So yes. And then add a hint. What I always used to tell my students, use your notes. We took notes in our notebook and they are like, I can't find it. Use your notes. Okay. All right. This is what it's going to look like for the students you can preview that ahead of time. If I do student preview, this is what it's going to look like. The students will select their correct answer. It's not going to give them the answer like it did for me. And for their hint, it's going to be this little light bulb that says use your notes. If I don't put these questions on here, they're going to be both places and it's going to confuse them. They're going to say, what do I answer? Where do I answer, Miss Summerford? Do I use a drawing tool and do I circle it? I mean, you could, but it's not going to auto grade. So make sure that you display the question on the page and you put it on top. Because when you assign it in your LMS, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the answers. It's going to auto grade it for you. You're also going to be able to pull insights to see how your students did on that question. If you're like, Melissa, how did you do this? Book a time with me and I can walk you through this. So keep that in mind. But that's why you want to do this. And it's going to look the same way in Canvas and Schoology. You'll be able to see these insights, be able to look at those questions and how they're graded. And you'll be able to see class view, which meaning it's a live view into your students' learning. You can use all of the Kami tools to give immediate feedback in the moment as they're working. No longer do you have to wait till Sunday to grade and then they get their paper 2 days later and they've already forgotten. So it's going to be instant. It's going to save you some time on that assignment. So this presentation here is going to have all of those different resources that I've walked you through. Now there are 27 slides. I'm not going over the 27 slides. You'll be able to come back to this and view at your own time. It's what I showed you. It's just something as a resource that you can come back to. But there's more. Here's all of the different learning management. So I told you Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoology, Microsoft Teams. D2L Brightspace and Encores. Those are the two that we just added. So you never know what else may pop up. But just know that you'll be able to support your students with all of that and using that class view to engage your students, give them insights, differentiate with that split and merge. But the best part is, I'm going to pass it over to Chelsea.
Awesome. And if you can go to the next slide. So the best part is, if you didn't get it already, is that all of your students can be using the same tools and the same curriculum, but you're just modifying it for those students that may need, or even if you don't know that the students need the support, such as the read aloud, they have access to that within Kami. And any student can get help with Kami. That guide on the side that Melissa showed us with the explain and the understand menu is great to help students out when they need. On the next slide, it's also super easy. So everything that Melissa showed today is very easy. If you already don't have the Kami extension, feel free to add it. You can pin it to your Chrome browser so that when you click that K, it takes you to the Kami dashboard and makes it so that in the Canvas instance, where you're viewing your Bluebonnet resources, you can just click open into Kami and then you have that right there for you. As long as you have the extension, those magic buttons will appear. And then magic buttons.
You said magic.
And last but not least, we would love to hear your feedback. So if in the chat, if you can share something that you're excited about, maybe something you wish Kami can do. I tell a lot of people, we can probably do it. There's probably just an intricate workflow. So feel free to put in the chat something that you are excited about, maybe something you wonder. You will get all of these resources as well as the recording. And if you have any questions, you have all of our email addresses there at the beginning of the presentation.
And now we're going to do the wheel because we're going to pick two winners for a Kami Happy Box and one winner for a gift card. So let's try this. I'm going to go ahead and spin this wheel of names and let's see for a Happy Box who is going to be our first winner. Here it is. Oh, Todd!
Congratulations!
All right, so Todd, you'll be receiving a Happy Box. All right, here we go. Let's see who's going to receive our other Happy Box. And in there, you're going to find like a radio, a plant. Let's see, here we go. Courtney.
Congratulations!
All right, let's see who our winner is going to be for the $100 Amazon gift card. Oh, you know what? I should have taken names out. It didn't give me that option this time. Can they win again? Can they win a second one?
We'll see.
Okay, we'll let Kim decide that.
Why not?
Why not, right? May Williams.
May, are you? Is May on the call?
Congratulations!
Do what?
Is May on the call? If May, if you could put your school email address in the comments for us, that would be great.
Yes, she is. She
Okay.
is on the call.
Perfect.
So thank you so much for joining us, for giving us just a little bit of your time. We are going to email the resource as far as the recording and this Kami presentation, so you can come back to it and review. Let us know if you have any questions, reach out to us. Our emails are on this presentation. Well, you'll need them. You will get them once we email you. So thank you so much for coming. And you know what?
Closing time.
Goodbye.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
All righty. Oh, let me stop the recording.